If you haven't already, make sure to check out Lucaland. The link is in the description. It's my kid store. You'll find over 1,000 high quality sounds on there. I would really appreciate if y'all just leave a like and a comment. It would really help me and it would really mean a lot. And please don't forget to leave a comment on what's your favorite Travis Scott or Drake song. And I don't want to make it into too long, so let's get right into the video. So there we are on the FLP, and the sample is like really simple. I use this Synology with the AX Solely 2, and as you can see, this is basically the main melody I have. It's basically just this arp which goes from an B to an E, but I skipped the A note. But then for the second arp, I basically just went down again from an C to an F sharp, and I have this portal on here with the Addicted to Reverse preset. It's really fire for these type of samples because it gives it like a really nice effect. And I will show you all this pattern without the effects first. So this is it without the effects. So yeah, it sounds kind of weird, but then I added the simple portal, and as you can see, this portal is turned off. I just have this low cut on there as well, and then I just rendered out this part again with the effects, and I have it on the third mixer track. I have this Valhalla Vintage Burp on there with these settings right here. This simple soothe on its hard setting and the depth to 4.9. This EQ where I just cut out some frequencies that were too harsh, and this simple EQ where I just cut out some of the lows. And as you can see right here, I pitched it down by 5, put the mode to stretch, the declick mode to generic again, and I chopped it up, as you can see, because there was like a little empty space at the beginning. So I basically just chopped it up, and now the finished arp is sounding like this. Then for the next thing, I use Synology again, and I use this brace preset right here. And as you can see, I laid down this very simple pattern, which is basically in B minor chord, but without the D. And I just copied it over again and again. And then I have like a little switcher part where I basically just added this G right here and these C sharp and D notes. And that's really all I did. I copied it over right here, as you can see. And for the effects, I have this simple shaper box with the panning option on there. Then this portal with the trace waves preset, this halftime on these settings right here. This for the parametric EQ2, where I just cut out some of the lows, and this EQ where I just cut out some of the lows again and ducked some of the highs, or basically cut them out as well. And then I have the simple soothe on there with the hard setting and the depth to 11.4, which is a lot, but this sound really is just for the background texture and to make the sample like a little bit more full, because the arp wouldn't have been enough. So it's a really simple pattern, and it sounds like this. Then after that, I had to use Synology again because it's a really good VST for making synth samples, and I used this preset out of the Synth Legends bank, and this is basically the pattern I laid down. It's the same B minor chord without the D note, and then I had this D note right here and an F sharp, and that's all I did, as you can see right here. And for the effects, as you can see right here, I just have the simple soothe on there with the soft setting and the depth to 6.2. Then this simple EQ where I just cut out some of the frequencies that I didn't really like, and this simple EQ where I just cut out some of the lows and ducked 2 frequencies that were too harsh, and the finished pattern is sounding like this. And then for the last thing, I had this fat MG bass, and I basically just laid down this very simple pattern which contains an B, then another B, then like a little switch up just for some variation and to make the like bass line more unique and more interesting. So I have this D, C sharp and this F sharp, which then goes on to an B again, then another B, and then I had this C sharp, D, and then this triplet pattern right here, which goes from an F sharp 2 to an F sharp 3, which basically then goes on to an B again. It just said to make it sound more interesting. And for the effects on there, I have this soothe on its hard setting and the depth to 9.1, this arc compressor with these settings right here, this decapitator where I had the drive to about 2.5, the tone a little bit more to dark and the style to E, then this for the fast distortion where I had the mix to 56% and it's on its default settings, then this simple EQ where I just cut out some frequencies that I didn't like, this EQ where I just cut out like the high highs, I would say, because they were like too much, and I had it 100% in mono, and the bass line is sounding like this. And now I'm gonna show y'all something that makes a huge difference while making my samples, and it's a mastering chain. And for my mastering chain, I have this Abbey Road vinyl stereo on there. With this preset right here, I just turned off the noise, crackle and the clicks. Then this RC20 with the Luca could be a pet preset, I just turned off the digital and the space. Then this L1 limiter just to make the sample louder. This sound shifter pitch stereo from Waves, where I just pitched up the sample by 1. This hyper chorus on its default preset, I just turned it to 8% wet. Then this EQ where I just ducked some of the lows. And this simple soothe, which is basically just on there to clean the sample up like a little bit. And now I'm gonna show y'all the sample with and without the mastering chain. But first, this is the sample without the mastering chain. And now I'm just gonna turn on the mastering chain, and makes a huge difference while making samples, or basically when rendering them out. I'm gonna preview this right here because this is basically the finished sample, and the finished sample with the mastering chain is sounding like this. And now for the beat breakdown, it's really simple. I just dragged in the sample, I pitch it up by 2, and I put the mode to stretch, the declicker mode to generic, and the trim knob to 100%. And then for the hi-hat pattern, it's just a 4-bar hi-hat pattern because it's in 107 BPM. And as you can see, I just have some rolls, like some lower rolls, then right here another roll, then another one, then 2 lower notes. And that's really all I did for the hi-hats. It's really simple, and the hi-hat pattern is sounding like this. Then after that, I had this simple clap pattern, which basically is just like a default clap pattern, which sounds like this. Then a simple Rex edit open head, which always just hits on the 1 and 3. And I have 2 808 patterns because then it's basically 8 bars. And as you can see, for the first one, I have this simple 808 pattern, which has like a few rolls at the end. It's basically always the D, but then I took these 2 Ds right here, as you can see right here, and I pitched them both up by 1 whole octave. And then I just have these simple rolls right here. And for the second pattern, it's even simpler. I just have these D notes again, and then just an A and an C. And that's really all I did for the beat. It's really simple. And I'm gonna play out the full hook part, and the finished beat is sounding like this. So yeah guys, if you all enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and to subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that, and it would really help me. Let me know in the comments what is your favorite Drake or Travis Scott song. I would really appreciate that. And I don't want to make the outro too long, so if you haven't already checked out Luca Land, make sure to do that right now. The link should be on the top right or on the top left right now, and in the description. I would really appreciate that, and you will get a 15% discount when just going onto the site. And as I said, I don't want to make the outro too long, so yeah guys, see y'all next Sunday.